Did you know that before the American Mega Man cartoon by Ruby Spears, that there was a Mega Man anime? In 1993, a 3-episode educational travelogue series called Rockman: Wish Upon a Star was released in Japan. The first of these 3 episodes were actually dubbed into English at that time. And in fact, the actors that were cast in the parts of Mega Man's 2 famous scientists carried over to the cast of the American cartoon. Jim Byrnes, who played Dr. Thomas Light, and Scott McNeil, who played Dr. Albert Wily.
Mega Man, you've destroyed all my robots! That makes me very angry!
This portrayal of Wily was very different compared to what was eventually heard in the TV series, as the character's accent had been changed from British to German.
I've finally done it! I've created the perfect weapon!
3-episode anime was eventually released in the US on DVD, several years later in 2002. The cast that had worked on the original first episode was brought back, but a few changes needed to be made, mainly because Mega Man himself, in this series, was voiced by a little boy. Gregory Smith, who folks might remember as Alan from the movie Small Soldiers, voiced Mega Man in the first episode.
My life energy and weapon energy is full! I feel great! Now it's time to find Dr. Wily!
But years later, Christopher Gray, who was one of many child actors to voice Enzo Matrix from Reboot, filled in for Mega Man on the last 2 episodes.
It's you, Proto Man! Well, you know, he is right about one thing. It's a showdown.
As the Ruby Spears producers felt Mega Man and Roll were a bit too young to appeal to an American audience at that time, they decided to age up the characters for the cartoon series and therefore cast them to older actors. Ian Corlett took on the part of Mega Man.
Looks like Dr. Wily and his slime buckets are at it again. Right! I'm out of here!
And at one point, he was also going to voice Rock's brother, Proto Man. Ultimately, though, Proto Man, Eddie, and Dr. Wily were all played by Scott McNeil. But hey, all's fair in love, war, and voiceover casting, because funnily enough, before all of this occurred, Ian Corlett had actually voiced Dr. Wily in 1989 on Captain N the Game Master, German accent and all.
So nice of you to come to my pool party. I do hope you'll stay for dinner. My Robo-Turtles just love superheroes.
Mega Man himself was also featured as a main character in this series, played by voice director Doug Parker. But this was a very different interpretation of Rock compared to what we're usually familiar with.
I bet they wouldn't treat me like this if I was human like them. Or I'll mega block you.
Captain N, Mega Man Upon a Star, and the Ruby Spears Mega Man cartoon were all recorded in Vancouver, Canada. This was fairly common for video game-based animated series in the 80s and 90s to be recorded in Canada. But the characters of Mega Man in particular have been produced up north quite a bit. The Mega Man Legends series was done in Toronto. Mega Man Powered Up, Mega Man Battle Network 5, and later installments of the Mega Man X series were done in Calgary. And even the Mega Man NT Warrior anime series was done in Vancouver along with the other animated properties. There have been a few exceptions, however. Some infamous ones. Mega Man 8 and Mega Man X4, which were both produced in celebration of the Rockman 10th anniversary in Japan, both contained fully animated cutscenes with voiceover. The English versions of these games were recorded by English-speaking actors living in Japan.
Hey, Zach! Why must I fight you? We are not enemies!
The voice acting in these games spawned a number of memes in the Mega Man fan community. And if you've ever browsed through YouTube, you've probably heard the Mega Man X4 cutscenes of Zero's legendary...
No, this isn't happening! There's no reason for me to go on. What? What am I fighting for?
Mega Man X7 was also recorded in Japan with English-speaking actors, but used a different cast compared to X4. Eventually, Mega Man X8, Command Mission, and Maverick Hunter X were recorded at Blue Water Studios in Calgary. On the Japanese side of things, there's been a few actors that have carried through multiple series just like some of the American ones. Kentaro Ito, who first voiced X in Mega Man X4, much later on went on to play Shadowman.exe in NT Warrior and Omega Sys in Mega Man Star Force. Shotaro Morikubo played Dynamo in Mega Man X5 and X8, then later took over the role of X himself in Mega Man X7. X has been played in Japan since 2004 by Takahiro Sakurai, voice of Cloud from Final Fantasy VII. While the Mega Man Zero version of X has been played by Takahiro Mizushima, voice of Finland from Italia Axis Powers. Moving right along, back to the English-speaking stuff, a funny tidbit comes from a cameo by the vocalists from Sugar Ray. Mark McGrath, Craig Bullock, and Charles Stan Frazier voiced Robot Master Sparkman, Gemini Man, and Gyro Man, respectively, in an episode of the Ruby Spears Mega Man cartoon titled Cold Steel. Another interesting coincidence occurred in Mega Man X8, where X and his longtime enemy Sigma were voiced by Mark Gatha and David Pettitt, respectively. Fans of the anime series G Gundam will recognize these two actors as the voices of hero Domon Kashu and his rival and former mentor, Master Asia.
Our meeting was fated, X. Our destinies come to a head right here, right now.
Commander Sigma, what are you doing? Sigma!
Oh!
Also, Lucas Gilbertson, the voice of Zero since about 2004, later went back and, completely of his own accord, produced a redub of the infamous cutscene from Mega Man X4 with Zero.
This isn't happening! There's no reason for me to go on! What am I fighting for?
However, Gilbertson was not brought back to reprise the voice of Zero in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, where Zero was instead voiced by Johnny Young Bosch, who we all know as Adam the Black Ranger from Power Rangers.
Target destroyed. This one put up a bit of a fight, but it's over now.
Thanks for watching. This video was inspired by Did You Know Gaming, so go check out their channel all about video game trivia. Thanks again to Kaiserneko for the audio mastering, JamesManXtreme for the music, and BehindTheVoiceActors.com for all the audio samples. If you enjoyed this video, check out some of our other videos about the voices behind your favorite Nintendo and Sonic characters. Oh, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more. See you next time.